Wait,
Right.
okay, so
To be fair, though, like, how cool would it be if just, like, day before Season 6, they drop a trailer, CGI John Cena steps out on Hanamura, grabs Kiriko by the throat, and just starts beating her relentlessly until there's this.
and then he takes
Her
off
face
his
is
skin?
gone, her skull is gone, her head is gone, just neck is all that's left, and then he just looks at the camera and just flips you off, and then Season 6 launches.
I didn't expect to find a teaser on Lively.
Hi everyone. I always say, we'll be back soon, but then we really never are, because life happens. Anyways,
30,000 years.
yeah. So today we have Ness and Ian.
Hello.
That's Master Ian Gamer to you.
Okay.
Just so you're not confusing me with the other Ian.
Ah, yes, the one from Smosh.
Yeah, my cousin. Yeah, so I apologize, it's been a little while. I moved. Had to get settled in. School starting in the fall. Just shit happens. And I don't know. Your guys, you have lives too, I guess. Yeah, so today we have a few topics. Unfortunately, none of them are particularly positive, but I feel like that's kind of the status quo at this point.
The usual.
The usual.
We talking about like Season 5, the ARG,
Yeah.
Overwatch League predictably shitting the bed.
We,
Stuff like that.
Yeah, we also attempted to block out some time for when we'll inevitably start bitching about Kiriko, so,
Don't bring it up. It'll only come faster when you bring it up.
yeah. I mean, that's what gets us the views. People like listening to us bitch about
That's
Kiriko.
what gets us the clips.
That's the clips. I mean, honestly, think about it. Most of our intro clips for the last few episodes, what have they been?
They've been the Kiriko
They've been the
rants?
Kiriko.
Of course.
My favorite to this day is Kiriko is a train wreck that you can't look away from because she sucks. Or something like that. But anyways, yes, we should start with Season 5.
Dude, my favorite season is, of course, the most mid one ever.
How is it your favorite?
Yeah, explain that.
Well, it's my favorite in theme-wise.
Oh.
Except for... Okay, wait, actually, no. I think Season 2, the Gods and Monsters one.
Yeah, that's my favorite as well.
But this one's...
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of theme, that one's my favorite so far. But this one's my second favorite. In terms of theme.
My
They didn't really do a whole lot with the theme.
My second favorite was Season 4. You'd think that would be my favorite because it's like space, but they, quite honestly, I don't think they did it super well. So
They sure tried.
They sure tried. I will say the starship designs, fantastic. I'm a guy who likes a good starship design in sci-fi. But yeah, it was fine. What about you, Ian?
I'd say Season 4 is my favorite just because of the space theme.
Okay, that's fair.
I feel like it's the most fun theme they've done so far. Like, Cyberpunk potentially could have been better, but I feel like they didn't execute the Cyberpunk theme of Season 1 particularly well.
Right.
They didn't really do anything with it. They just kind
No.
of said... They said it was the theme, and then they released a whole, 3 skins.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyways, this season's theme is D&D.
Sort of, yeah.
It's just Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, it's specifically medieval Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, which is most Dungeons and Dragons.
Classic fantasy adventure.
Classic fantasy adventure. It's basically I don't know. It's like sort of maybe like what's the name of that famous Japanese RPG series? Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest.
Yeah, very Dragon Quest-esque.
Yeah. I was gonna say Dark Souls, but then I was like, no, it's not Dark Souls. It's definitely not Dark Souls.
If only it were Dark Souls.
Dark Souls themed, like dark fantasy.
Could you imagine a crossover with FromSoft?
Dude, we've talked about this. Godric Ramatra.
Godric Ramatra, fucking Bloodborne guy, Junker Queen.
Bloodborne Junker Queen. Yeah, I mean, it would be perfect.
Any Souls Brig.
I mean, you could probably do, like... for Brig, you could do, like, Solaire.
Yeah.
I guess that would work.
It would work.
They could make it work. But yes, so that's the theme for Season 5. I haven't played it because it doesn't look interesting. Ian has played it. What do you think, Ian?
About the season overall, or
Yeah.
specifically the theme? It's been pretty mid.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I've played this season less than usual, but I have checked out Mischief and Magic today.
And?
Mhm.
What's your guys' analysis?
I mean, it's a fun twist on Prop Hunt, at least. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
Yeah, that's exactly my sentiment. Like, I genuinely have been having fun playing it.
All right.
I've been present.
Pleasantly, yes.
No, we're done. Podcast. Let's end it all.
This is
Deleting my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it. I've heard good things. I do find it funny how they've literally admitted to this being a filler season.
Yeah.
I like how the first announcement ever of the season was like, yo, Season 6 is coming next season, so get ready for Season 5.
It's, flattering, you know? It really gives a good image.
I do wish that this game mode would, like, stay available in custom games, though. Because I do like it, and I would like to see a twist on it in at least the custom games.
Everyone wishes they would actually keep the fun modes.
They never do.
They never do.
Can you play Lucio Ball all year round in the custom games?
No.
Damn. That fucking sucks.
They literally just have this approach that if the game mode is fun, it can only be temporary.
Right. And that's why they don't keep capture the flag temporarily.
Yeah, essentially. That's why the standard balance patch is not temporary. Or it is temporary, but they always have it in there.
Speaking of the balance patches, I know we're already getting like slightly off topic with this.
Oh god, I don't even want to talk about the balance patch for this season.
So I think this has to be the first time ever I looked at like a balance patch releasing and I didn't care enough to even check.
I didn't check.
And then I checked, and then I realized I shouldn't have cared because nothing changed.
I don't actually know what happened. I don't care enough.
I think the biggest change is that Sim is like weird now.
Oh yeah, I did hear about Sim being weird now, but other than that, I haven't really heard anything. Anyways, yeah, Mischief and Magic. I've heard it's fun. I've played Prop Hunt maybe once in my life, about a decade ago, so
There's a bunch of games that try and do it, but I think this game, I think they actually have a good twist on it.
What did they do?
They use the unique qualities Overwatch has and use abilities for like both sides at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I have to play that. All right.
I also figured out that it is a bit scuffed and weird.
Yes.
So the hiders, so the props play as a modified Kiriko, basically.
Okay.
A Kiriko with a Moira Swift Step.
Okay.
That changes your prop. A cast stun from Overwatch 1 that like stuns them for an entire year.
Right.
But it's like a really long cooldown. and you can root yourself into the ground so that your prop doesn't change position.
Interesting.
However, you can still climb, and you can even stay climbed up.
What?
So if you wanted to, you can nail yourself to a ceiling somewhere.
Yeah.
Yo, it's like me playing Deep Rock Galactic.
It's super funny.
That's just how I play Deep Rock Galactic. I just nail myself to the ceiling.
Yeah, honestly, the mechanics of Mischief and Magic were like really well thought out and executed. Like I figured it'd be sort of janky, like a lot of like limited time event modes end up being, but like it feels like they actually put time and effort into designing this mode.
Dude, that's
like it's still just an event arcade mode. Like obviously it's not going to be replayable like for years, but it's like, dang, good job, Blizzard. Like you actually did something good for once with this.
It's not even just on the technical end. It's specifically that they thought about how to improve on the concept of prop hunts. Like, how do we make prop hunts in Overwatch?
Like, how do we make this unique and feel like an Overwatch version of prop hunt?
Right.
And they did it.
In many prop hunt games, you can choose which prop you are. In this, you can't, but it works because you kind of have to work with it on the fly. It's not a limitation; it's part of the game.
Right.
Not a bug; it's a feature.
It's not a bug; it's a feature.
Exactly. It's probably got something to do with them not being able to figure that out, but I hope not.
Yeah. No, I mean, we should always assume that they can't figure it out, because that's usually the case.
No. But I think it's a nice twist. It's really cool. I've played it today, and I'm having some fun with it.
Yeah, I've had quite a bit of fun with it.
It just, I wish it wasn't like as many rounds, right? Because it's like it's a best of 5.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the games do tend to run a bit long in that regard.
If teams are good, it takes forever.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like it's better for a game mode to be too long than too short, at least in my opinion. So,
short game modes have their fun as well.
The other big thing for me is I wish there were more maps, because having just the one map, like, it's kind of tiring.
Okay.
Like, if there were, like, 3 different maps you could play on, oh my god, the game mode would be amazing.
There are 3 maps. It's Blizzard World in all 3 weather states.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think the reason why they have done that, at least so far, if they ever choose to iterate on it, they'll probably add more maps. But so far, it's just Blizzard World because they only have the props for Blizzard World.
I guess that makes sense.
I mean, given how well it's been received, I would not be surprised to see them expand on this mode in future seasons and events and stuff.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. It seems like it's, from what I understand, it sounds like it's maybe even more popular than Battle for Olympus. So.
Oh, I 100%. I've seen more people talk positively about this than Olympus.
Which is crazy to me, because as far as I'm concerned,
that's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Because people talked negatively about Battle for Olympus because they played it so much.
Really? Maybe I'm just strange. Battle for Olympus is the sort of game mode I could play forever. Like if I never played another game mode in Overwatch again, I'd be fine.
I had a very specific connection to Battle for Olympus. It was specifically wanting the Lucio statue, and we didn't even get that. We got cheated out of it.
No, you really didn't. I remember sitting there with you at my desk.
Fucking screaming,
spamming rats together strong in the text chat. So, yeah.
But, like, we got so close, and then environmental kills were, like, not counted.
Oh, they didn't count? Is that why?
They changed how kills worked, because environmental kills are counted as eliminations.
They changed the rules halfway through so they wouldn't have to make another statue because they assumed that JQ would win.
Yeah, no, I don't think they changed the rules. I think it was... Well, they claimed
they did
like
change the rules. They said that they changed the rules.
No, but they changed it so that it did start tracking environmental kills. Because initially it wasn't.
It didn't. Initially, it was tracking environmental kills. And then later,
I'm not sure about that.
There were some people doing some research on it. Because after basically the change, right? Everyone's kills went down a little bit, Like JQ went down like a few, Pharah went down a significant amount, but was still in second, and Lucio went down by like half. You could probably tell which kill credit went away.
Yeah, I mean, with I just remember with such fondness.
Ramaka's changed by 0, which was very telling because he got 0 environmental kills, unsurprisingly.
Who didn't?
Ramatra.
Oh yeah, Ramatra didn't get any. I just remember with such fondness the lobbies where all the Lucios would just like form an alliance, and just the fucking frog hive mind would just run
and
after
they're the
you.
only ones like that. I love that.
Yeah, it's just the frog hive
They're
mind.
the only ones that would like choose not to attack each other, only to ruin it for everyone else.
Yeah, that's just how you guys are.
Yep. Rats together strong.
Rats together strong. So yeah, that's the prop hunt. I haven't played it. I'm going to play it. It sounds interesting, but
Prop hunt also has the perk of not really, like, it's difficult for prop hunt to be like received negatively, right? There's no way to get angry at each other in prop hunt.
I guess that's true.
Oh, you'd be amazed. I've seen people get angry.
Really?
Really?
Uh-huh.
I've had some like very tense games, and both sides are like, wow, that was close, dude, that was a good spot, like every single time, super positive.
Yeah, overall, it's a lot less toxic than like even quick play, but I've seen some people get like angry and just like rage quit and shit. So
interesting.
Damn.
Truly, the Overwatch community is just irredeemable.
Now, this is by far the most positive Overwatch community I've seen since like versus bots.
Right.
Which, if you haven't ever queued into versus bots, you'll be amazed. You'll be queued into a match with like the 4 most chill people that do not give a shit.
I mean, yeah, that's just kind of PvE in general for most games.
No, as in, it's quick play versus bots. That's a mode you can queue into.
It's like what most people start with. I know. I remember all the posts about people who like literally have like 1,000 hours in versus bots and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Those exist.
Those do exist. A very small portion of the community, but they do exist. They're an enigma.
But anyways, next up, the ARG.
Now you guys are gonna have to carry the conversation.
Yeah, I barely know anything, so Ian.
John Cena part of the ARG?
Ian, the spotlight is on you.
I saw a post saying that there was like a streamer who did something, and there's like a date that lines up with John Cena's birthday or something. That's about all I know.
Wait, really?
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, there's like more to it. It's like so Blizzard has been like recruiting a bunch of like big Overwatch streamers to run like sponsored ads on their thing. Where there's some like hacker dude that keeps like hacking in and speaking in like the creepy voice. I don't know. I haven't actually watched any of the clips.
I think I like saw a muted clip of Shroud watching one of these. He like played Overwatch, and suddenly the guy comes on screen. Shroud just kind of looks at it, does not care. It's fucking amazing. Like his facial expression does not change.
All right. Let's do some research. Twitter.com/Overwatch Cavalry.
We're doing it live.
I know there's some posts they put up here. Let's see.
On Twitter.com.
Oh yeah, there's a new Sombra Translocator, which is apparently in the Heroes Can trailer that people think is teasing a rework, but is probably just a different skin.
Ugh, I'm another rework. I'm dreading it.
Overwatch Cavalry, quote, could John Cena be Enigma from the hashtag Overwatch 2 invasion teasers?
What?
Arm emoji. Cryptic messages appeared on certain streams today, leading users to an image with the letters JC and a font called Felix Anthony.
I swear.
John Cena's full name is John Felix Anthony Cena.
I swear to fucking God.
Dude, if
they get John Cena in Overwatch.
If John Cena is the VA for the next hero, I am going to shit.
The next
John
hero's
Cena's going to
female.
voice a Peruvian woman. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's.
I mean the hero after that one.
Oh.
You mean
The
John
leading
Cena's gonna
theory I've
voice?
seen-
John Cena's gonna voice Malga.
Overlord.
There you go.
That would be really funny, actually. Just like
So, yeah, one of the theories I've seen being put around is apparently for Diablo 4 they got Megan Fox to do like a bunch of like trailers and stuff for the game.
right.
So people are thinking that like this is the Overwatch equivalent of that, where John Cena is going to be like a spokesperson that is basically just going to be like peddling the game leading up to season 6.
I still really prefer the idea though that Malga is just voiced by John Cena putting on a Samoan accent. I don't know. I'm
People would
partial
be
to that.
outraged if that happened.
I'm partial to that.
Guys, some information just dropped.
What?
John Cena posted on, I think, his Instagram that he was watching the Overwatch dev live stream.
Oh yeah, I did see that earlier.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Might be real.
Might be real. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what to make of that.
Interesting.
That's kind of all I have to say. Interesting. Is there really much else I can say?
Well, I think what's even more interesting than the weird Enigma John Cena thing itself is how little anyone seems to care about it.
Oh, I mean I don't know. That's kind of what I would expect from to be completely
No,
honest.
but like last time this happened, in the Sombra ARG, everyone cared. Even people that did not give a shit about Overwatch.
Right. I remember that. Yes.
So here's sorry, the people watching can't see this, but I'm posting the clips to the chat.
No, I'm not gonna watch them now, but.
Oh, there's also just a screenshot of an enigmatic guy and Shroud's face not changing expression.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I don't think people give a shit anymore. So.
Well, not as much. I think they give a shit, just not as much.
Not as
last
much.
time, right? Because last time was like, holy shit. The Sombra ARG got so far, reached so far out of the Overwatch community, it reached me.
Right.
Which is why I play Overwatch to this day.
I don't know what to make of another ARG. I just don't know what to make of it.
Marketing campaign, probably.
They're also doing it in such a strange way. They're just going on streamers' channels and then being like, hey guys, here's a pop-up for 4 seconds. Do they just expect people to watch live streamers for 24 hours a day?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
that's 100% what they expect.
Why? What?
Because I get advertising a drop, but people are just gonna put their laptop on, put it in another room, and then turn off the sound.
Right.
So when an ARG drops, people aren't looking.
Okay. Interesting. Anyways, I don't know. Do we have anything else to say about this?
John Cena, Hero 39.
And his name is John Cena. Wait,
Right.
okay, so
To be fair though, how cool would it be if just day before season 6, they drop a trailer, CGI John Cena steps out on Hanamura, grabs Kiriko by the throat, and just starts beating her relentlessly.
and then he takes
her
off
face
his
is
skin.
gone, her skull is gone, her head is gone, just neck is all that's left, and then he just looks at the camera and just flips you off, and then season 6 launches.
I didn't expect it to find a teaser on Lively.
You do understand that, yet again, Kiriko is going to be the intro clip now. With Ian saying he wants to see John Cena, literally turn Kiriko's head into paste.
Cold. Okay, so here's
I mean, dude, let's be honest, that would get people's attention.
Oh, it would.
it would.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure I'm against that.
Okay.
See, Blizzard needs to get more audacious and ballsy with their marketing. They can't play this safe game of, haha, heroes can, look at the cool abilities. No, you gotta get visceral.
Yeah, have one of them.
The deviants on the internet have known that since day one when it comes to Overwatch. It's about time Blizzard catches up with them.
Next time they're reworking a hero, have them just grow a cock on screen.
Maybe that's a bit much.
Kiriko dies canonically because of John Cena in the Overwatch universe.
Then the Fox Spirit continues to animate her corpse.
Oh, God.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. That it is like actually Dark Souls shit.
The change because suddenly she's not an asshole.
I mean, that you might actually be onto something. Like, you can't just have like
personality shift.
The personality shift. I mean, she would be mute. She'd be mute. She has no head.
No, she
that solves like 90% of her problems right then and there.
Yeah.
The alt line would change to the April Fool's one.
What's that?
Where she just kind of barks like a fox.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
Somebody had unwise thoughts to that.
I like that voice line, but like not for the unwise.
Somebody had unwise thoughts. Ian, you're not wrong, and I hate that.
The Kiriko Fox yelps got me acting unwise.
Yep.
There's like, hopefully it's a small crowd. There's absolutely a crowd of people who would be like driven absolutely wild by like bloody headless Kiriko making fox noises. They exist, and we all know it.
Yeah, we're walking down a strange path here, friends.
This wasn't the Kiriko rant I was expecting, but like, it's something, all right.
It's
Look, we've been doing this too long. We can't just keep having the typical, oh, she's annoying, I hate her personality.
No, have her dead. Animate her
ratings are down. We need better content. Enough with the hating on Kiriko. Now we're on to whatever the hell this is.
Now we are on for advocating for John Cena to beat Kiriko to death.
We are killing characters.
Yeah.
M-rated game now.
We've moved from ranting about her being annoying to advocating for John Cena to beat her to death.
Oh, I never said I was advocating for that. I just said it'd be neat if it happened.
It would just be neat if it happened.
Yeah, I'm not saying it should happen, but if it did, it would be pretty funny.
This isn't advocating. This is speculating, Astro. That's totally
different.
This is speculating.
We're speculating if John Cena in the next trailer will beat Kiriko to a fucking pulp.
I just the description that Ian gave of like her head is just gone. It's just paste. Like, Christ.
I mean, what do you think happens when like Ramatra pulls out his arms?
You get tickled.
No, you die in real life.
Okay, you die in real life, but the hero gets tickled.
Yeah, but if like a real life metal man like beat you with those fists, you wouldn't survive.
Oh no, absolutely not.
It still does more damage than Doomfist.
Yeah, I know.
The sadness in that response. I know.
The absolute letdown in that voice.
Are we done talking about John Cena killing Kiriko?
Yeah. Are we?
Do we have anything else to add to this concept?
I don't know what else there is to add. So
can't wait for people to not like use the hero's name as a call out. It's like, yo, John Cena, go there.
I mean, I've already heard people. I have heard before people say like Mercer, go over there when you have a Cassie on your team. I have heard it. It's pretty funny.
Like one of the few people that could happen with, though.
I mean, Cassidy is just Cassidy's just Matt Mercer in a like a costume,
in a cowboy suit,
in a cowboy cosplay.
It's literally that's literally what the character is.
But people know Matt Mercer enough, right?
Oh yeah, no, I mean like when like there was an episode.
Don't know John Cena.
There was
no, that's not what I'm saying. But out of all of the other voice actors in Overwatch, which do you think overshadow their own character?
Matt Mercer.
Just Mercer,
Yeah,
and
probably just him. He's the only one that'd really stick out in that regard.
I don't know. I feel like Genevieve O'Reilly with Moira might somewhat, but because
I
Genevieve,
never see people bring that up.
for her other stuff.
Genevieve
I think they're quite distinct.
Yeah, that's fair. Genevieve O'Reilly kind of has a life of her own, like very famous outside of Moira. So that's what I was going to get at. But
wasn't she involved in like Star Wars?
Yes, but she's in a lot of stuff.
Same with D. Bradley Baker, who voices.
D. Bradley Baker's in fucking everything. D. Bradley Baker voices the Grave
but he's
Mind.
unrecognizable in everything.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. He really is. You always see his name pop up in the credits, and you're like, "Hey,
Which one?"
You'll
watch something, you'll think like, "Holy shit, that was amazing." You'll see him in the credits, and you're like, "Which one of the like 12 absolute bangers was he?" And then you find out he was 11 of the 12.
Half of them were animals that didn't have words. They're just noises.
So John Cena being Hero 39, I'll take it, I guess. He would be a DPS, which would be kind of funny.
Wait, would he?
Hero 39 is going to be a DPS, yeah.
Did they explicitly state that?
Pretty sure they did.
I think they said
talking
the
about the one
opportunities for
after-
DPS open back up after this hero, but I don't think they ever said they would.
So this season 6 is a support. Hero after that's confirmed to be a tank.
Yep. And then the hero after that is a DPS.
I don't know if they've outright confirmed that, but I think it's like inevitable, basically.
It's likely, but so our expectations are season 6 support hero. After that, please,
season 8.
Malga, just please, he's so ready. He's
season
so
8
already.
is Malga, yep. And then season 10 is John Cena.
Unless John Cena is Malga.
I still think that would be very funny. Just John Cena putting on a Samoan accent.
Oh my god,
it
could
would
you
be really
imagine
funny.
Malgas coming out saying being chillin'? That'd be so funny.
I mean, I'm excited for Malga because he's just going to be a fucking psychopath, which is going to be really funny.
But Malga saying Bing chillin' would be funny.
Oh yeah, it would be funny, but like I want him to say the "sorry buddy" line when he gets a melee kill. That's my singular desire.
Malga would be the type of character to not get melee kills, but get melee executions Halo style.
Oh yeah, it'd be really funny. I'm so excited for Malga, even though I know I'll be disappointed. Anyways, up next.
Next thing.
Owl shitting the bed.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's happened.
If you and your girl are both dying, who are you getting? Owl or nothing? Turns out, nothing.
Yeah, what?
I think I just had a moment there.
You got a stroke there.
Don't worry about it. But the Overwatch League is like so fucking done that they're offering the teams $6 million to get out of the league.
Which is because at first when I read it, I was like, "Oh, okay." So what they're saying is like, if they want to stay in the league, they have to pay $6 million. No, what they're saying is, if they want to leave, they're going to be paid $6 million.
Yup. And all their debts will be forgotten as well.
Like, this is just admission that it's over.
It is completely Jover. Now, I know that they've stated, like, hey guys, don't be scared, we'll still support the pro scene. What do you mean? You've never supported the pro scene.
Right.
Even you've only poured money into it. That's not supporting it. That's that's fueling a fire.
That's fueling a fire that's like burning down your house.
Yeah. Like, I know you can technically keep an oven warm by, like, shoveling money into it, but, like, you just use wood or, like, coal. Like a normal ecosystem.
Yeah, it's, do you guys truly think that this is it? Like, Do you think
For Owl,
they're
yes.
all going to leave?
I hope so. Unless one of them just like happens to stay, at which point Blizzard will probably have to pay them more to leave, which will be infinitely funnier.
That's what I'm curious to see. How many of them try to just like hold out to just get more money from Blizzard?
I mean, I wouldn't blame them because they lost big time on this. If you're one of the orgs that like bought into the Overwatch League expecting it to be anywhere near successful, buddy, you've got some real
scammed.
Not only did you get scammed, you've got some real bargaining power now.
That's also
you can say, I got scammed so hard. You deserve to pay me like double that amount.
Right.
And that's hopefully coming right out of Kotic's own pocket.
Oh, it won't.
Probably won't.
It's almost bittersweet because I got a kick out of beating the shit out of Overwatch, like Overwatch League.
Overwatch League? Yeah.
I found it funny just kicking the shit out of it, but Boston is never gonna win a championship, which makes me sad, but whatever.
What do you mean? There's still a Boston there could still be a Boston University team.
Okay, that's fair.
They just have to make one. You know,
specifically,
people at Boston University have to agree to make a team that they will compete with.
Specifically, Boston University.
I mean, what other body do you expect in Boston to be ballsy enough to make an Overwatch team?
UMB,
after the Overwatch League.
UMB could probably do it. Harvard.
Because I'm not expecting it to be an organization. I'm expecting it to be like people who happen to study at the Boston University.
I guess BU would have the demographic for it, yeah.
When it comes to Europe, can't wait for like Shitter Crew 82 to come in.
But they're actually going to be called Shitter Crew 82. Like,
oh yeah, no. I mean, there's been teams like Shoes Money Crew, Goats. What other teams? There was one. There were some funny team names like over the years. Also some really cool ones, but none of them, of course, saw the true light of day because the Overwatch League took main stage.
Right.
I mean, that's how a lot of organizations in other leagues got their names, right? It's just a group of people figuring out a name, and then they happen to absolutely curb stomp everyone to the top.
Yes.
I mean, if anyone has ever kept up, so big tangent. If anyone has ever kept up with contenders in any way, shape, or form, right around like 222, they may have heard about Clockwork Vendetta and how they were the absolute menace.
I've heard the name, yeah.
So this was a group of players that were like, they're all one tricks.
Yeah, okay, yes, I heard about this. I heard about this.
They had 7 members, and I don't remember if they had enough players to play in 222. I think they just played triple DPS for most of it, but with Orisa.
Right.
But they were notable for playing May Torb and winning against the best teams that were like not in the league at that time.
Unbelievably based. Just beat the shit out of people with the gnome.
Finally, the competitive scene won't be fragmented, which will be cool.
Yeah, there's that.
And hopefully that'll help the competitive scene, because the competitive scene shouldn't be like, oh, what's like the best assemblage of the best players. No, it should be like, what team will win?
Right.
And will there be an upset? Because upsets are funnier than anything else. Do you want a group of just 5 random Polish people to absolutely curb stomp the meta?
Yes.
It can happen. And it has happened before in other esports.
I'm kind of convinced that like the only reason anyone watches any esports is just for the chance of an upset.
Yep. Oh, that's why I watched CS back in the day. I wanted to see Virtus Pro happen to squeeze another win. If you didn't know, Virtus Pro is a group of, I think, Polish gentlemen who are all like nearing their 40s.
That's hilarious.
They've played since CS 1.6, and they're still going. They're still the exact same team.
Go get them, guys.
And they've won multiple world championships.
That's hilarious. That's actually really cool. I like that.
They will like show no results for like 5 years in a row, and then the 6th year they will absolutely curb stomp people.
Well, you know, they had to like, you know, take care of their kids. You know, get them through college.
Taxes.
Get them through college.
There's some funny clips, of course, of like one of the players, his name is Pasha Biceps. He's obsessed with his own biceps. Like, having a motivational speech as his baby is crying in the background, and he's like, "Guys, I got to go have I have to feed my children real quick. I'll be right back." And then he sprints away.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. Do we think that Overwatch League collapsing is actually going to have any real repercussions?
I mean, no, I hate to be this guy, but I can only see positives at this.
Okay, I agree, but like,
other than the fact that there's like less cash flow, which I mean, I don't really care about that anyways.
I mean, they're not making money off of this anyways.
No. So yeah, I can only see positives. They don't have to meticulously balance with the Overwatch League in mind.
Right.
They don't have to technically financially support a dead horse.
Yep.
The pro scene won't be separated into two pro scenes.
Right.
Nothing's technically official, so if anything scuffed happens, it won't be Blizzard's fault.
Right.
So, yeah, even from Blizzard's perspective, I can't see any negatives.
I mean, honestly, I wish I could say I have faith that the funny will come back to the game with Overwatch League being gone, but I don't have faith in that, but, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't get my hopes up for that.
No. I just hope that they're, like, that this will give them at least the balls to be like, hey, we're not technically an official esport anymore, so let's just make the game funny again.
They won't, but
if they have the balls to say that and do that, I will be so happy because, again, the most fun games to ever become an esport were never designed to be one.
That's fair. Granted,
They became esports because people had fun with it, not because they were designed to be one.
Well, what happened with Overwatch, though, is that it was that until they changed the game to account for it being an esport.
At which point, it became a worse esport.
Yeah, at which point it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it also became a worse esport because of it.
I'm going to be interested to sit back and watch what happens with this. I expect not much to actually change, but I can have hope. So, on a similar note, we have this whole thing with how the PvE might actually be a casualty of the Overwatch League.
I mean, you Astro know the most about this, but from as much as I could tell from you reciting this to me, people, and by people I mean literally just Kotick, had so much faith in the Overwatch League that like all the funding went to there rather than the actual game, which kind of made the PvE suffer.
I also find it extremely funny that even Flats literally said don't watch the Overwatch League.
He's like the official streamers.
Yeah, so it's I think you can tell that there's people have finally developed a vendetta against the Overwatch League, and it seems like it's
finally. What do you mean?
I guess yeah,
it's happening for years.
It's existed, but what I mean is like people are finally recognizing like a tangible example of something that probably suffered because of the Overwatch League, and unfortunately, it's the thing that everyone actually like bought into Overwatch 2 for.
I mean,
rip Bozo, I guess.
Rip Bozo.
I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about it. It's just
I feel so upset about the PvE being paid only.
What were you expecting?
I was expecting, the servers to be fucking manageable.
But I mean, how would you ever have expected the PvE to be free?
Well, when it was like, okay, I didn't expect the PvE to be free, but in the way they are delivering now, it really should be.
Why do you say that?
It's nothing. It's nothing compared to the thing they were initially advertising, right? I was fully prepared to pay for like a $60 game that like had PvE in it, but now we're playing through like 3 missions that were salvaged from that once prepared game.
Okay.
Which I'm not paying for that. I might as well watch someone else play through it.
I'm gonna pay for it because you're crazy if you think I've waited this long to just like not get it.
The sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah. Are you not playing directly into Blizzard's pockets?
I'm so fucking sick of having to wait for this that I'm willing to make one concession.
Also, I highly doubt that the experience will be so mind-bogglingly good that watching it will be different from like playing.
Oh
it.
no, I don't think it'll be mind-boggling good. I'm excited to be able to finally play through PvE because I love Overwatch's universe, and I think it's a fun game as long as you don't have to deal with the balance of dealing with other people.
Right.
It's yeah. So I'm excited. I part of me honestly is just excited to try and speedrun the levels.
Well, I'm
So-
excited to watch people speedrun the levels.
Ian, you and I can try and break records. How about that? We won't do it, but it'll be funny.
I'm not much of a speedrunner, to be honest.
No.
But you could be.
But why would I want to be when I can enjoy a game instead?
Fair point.
That's a fair point, actually. That's a very fair point. But yeah, if it's true that the PvE is a casualty of the Overwatch League, much like the game as a whole is, that's incredibly upsetting. I don't know how else to put it.
Speaking of other like somewhat PvE related stuff, Overwatch Genesis. How
Yeah.
about that?
It's
How about that?
how about
How
that?
about that?
It's pretty good. I don't think it is anything groundbreaking. I think it's pretty good though. It's
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice. But like many things Blizzard does these days, it felt insufficient.
right.
It's like I enjoyed it for what it was, but why was there not more, basically?
Right, and I think that the fact that they split it up was dumb.
Oh, that was an awful decision. Oh, that was so bad, splitting it up like that.
I agree with you, Ian, that I think the best thing they could have done was just like drop it out of nowhere, because then there would have been no expectations.
Yeah, I did a video about this, but like for those of you watching at home who maybe haven't seen it, they should have made it all one like 15, 18 minute, whatever long, just like video. Don't break it up into 3 parts that feel jankily sliced apart, and then just shadow drop it. Shadow drop the entire 18-minute animated video just out of nowhere so people have no expectations and then they just get it. People would have responded so positively to it if they had handled it that way. But nope. They had to do the old Blizzard method of teasing everything to death and then being like, oh, it's great, you love it, right? We haven't even seen it yet. Give us a little snippet and it's like, is this all there is?
Yeah, they're not great at that.
The animation looked kind of whack as well, in my opinion.
I liked the animation.
Yeah.
I liked the animation. It's
I think the animation was serviceable. It's like that cheapo Netflix style, like not real animation, which is like I don't like it, but like it's not terrible.
Look, the artwork was good, and then it started moving, and I was like, oh god, stop.
yeah, it definitely could have been more animated. I agree with that. Like
No, like, make it less animated. You made it look worse.
no. I mean, like they could have, if they had put more into like making it.
Astro, the origin stories, you know, the ones that are like semi-moving pictures look better.
That's true, I guess.
I don't think it was that bad.
But like, I haven't watched the whole thing, but every single frame I go into, I see like a fucking smear frame that lasts for 7 seconds. I'm like, my brother in Christ, who animated this? What animated this?
Underpaid people in a nameless city in East Asia.
Probably not even that. It could have been an unnamed AI in a fucking city. I wouldn't put it above them.
I mean, I don't know. A lot of animation goes through South Korea, so
Yeah.
that
I haven't checked it out at like much at all. It didn't look very interesting. It just kind of looked like, oh, we get details on like a thing, but
Who knows?
not too much.
Who knows? Perhaps the unnamed city in East Asia was Seoul or Busan. Who knows? That would have
From what I could tell, they kind of just retold a story that was vaguely like you could vaguely get from the game, anyways.
Yes, but they detailed it and gave us specifics and finally confirmed that Anubis was the one that caused the crisis.
Yes.
And
But that was implied anyways.
yeah, but now we know for sure.
Now we know
and
for
now we
sure.
also know that Aurora was the one that ended the crisis via a Deus Ex Machina machine that humans just built. And Overwatch seemingly had nothing to do with anything in the actual ending of the crisis.
No.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. I will say that I think it's interesting that they confirmed that Aurora was after the crisis, because at least I had always gotten the impression that Aurora was before the crisis, because I'd always gotten the impression that Aurora was after the crisis.
Yeah, I guess it was always sort of fuzzy around that timeline, because the idea of, like, the Omnics gaining sentience. Yeah, because I sort of thought, and I felt like a lot of people had the theory that, like, the Omnics gaining sentience was what caused the crisis.
Yeah.
When
Well, the time
turns
frame
out
was
that's
never
not the
entirely.
case.
The time frame wasn't ever entirely established, but either them gaining sentience either started or stopped the war.
Yeah, I had always assumed that it ended the war. That's what I'd always thought, which was
Which
correct.
is what it ended up being, yeah.
Yeah.
I had my theory that Aurora did her sacrifice, gave sentience to all the Omnics, including literally the Omniums, which
Yep.
were abandoned and basically mistreated by humans as far as they were concerned. And so they're like, I've awoken in this derelict state. Humans don't care about me. What if I just started making robots to kill the humans?
They were defunct worker drone machines, and they're like, I am sentient. I can produce these to kill the fuckers.
Yeah, like, that's so much more interesting to me than just like, oh, rogue AI, haha, takes over. Like, no, literally factories become sentient and fear the humans and thus wage war. Like,
I will say I think that the reason that they did give, while perhaps cliche, was interesting enough, which was that Anubis was an ecological AI, and it perhaps rightly assessed that humans were the greatest threat to the ecosystem.
yeah, but that's like something we've seen so many times before.
Yeah, no, it's definitely somewhat cliched. It's just, at least
it was such a
personally-
safe way of handling, like, the events of the crisis. And, like, okay, it works in, like, a narrative sense, but, like, it's not nearly as interesting as I was hoping it would be, because it's just another case of rogue AI mixed with humans are the real problem. So
It wasn't an explanation we needed, because keeping it up in the air was probably more interesting. Like, not knowing his reasoning for starting the war, it's like,
Yeah, I feel like a reveal of the reasoning.
like, no,
later would've
that's
been interesting.
something, like, that you will never reveal. That's, like, part of the story. You will never realize why this thing that has now probably died did this. You know,
Right.
could you imagine if Anubis just, like, ceased existing, right? That Ramatra blows it up. Let's go to a hypothetical where Ramatra blows it up in, like, chapter 1 of the lore, and of the invasion, blows up Anubis, and then people never find out why he started the crisis.
I suppose that could have been interesting, yeah. It would have left a lot to speculation, which can be fun.
Mm-hmm. And also, we know that Ramatra is quite vindictive towards Anubis. He fucking hates the fucker.
Right. Which, I mean, makes sense.
Yeah.
basically it enslaved him prior to Ramatra gaining sentience.
Right.
Yeah. But the humans don't really know that.
Do they not? I'm actually not sure about that.
No, they're not fully aware of that from what I could tell from dialogue happening in the game.
I mean, I know Farah wasn't, but...
No,
Interesting.
until, like, finding out after her buddy got violently taken over.
Right.
Also, hold up a second. Is that implying that Anubis is becoming even more powerful and that it can now take over Omnics who have gained sentience? when originally it couldn't, which was what ended the war.
That's a good point, actually.
We did it! We found the contradiction! Overwatch makes no sense!
I mean, I guess it could
be the case that Anubis is just getting stronger in its imprisonment.
I guess
where now it's able to override the sentience.
I guess it's also possible that it's a proximity thing.
Maybe, but that's kind of lame.
It would be lame, but it would make sense.
Isn't strong enough. He can only take over sentience when they're within 100 meters. Like
the no sentience beacon.
No sentience beacon.
Sorry, dude. You're out of range. You gain back your sentience.
That's I suppose that's an interesting concept, but I don't know.
My Omnic takeover had no cellular here.
I guess, I don't know, you think that's something they'll actually address?
Maybe. I mean, if it plays in as like a plot point, potentially.
Right.
I feel like they wouldn't address it because it would cause too many plot holes. If I were them, I wouldn't address it.
I feel like the best storytelling is like when they're willing to take on explaining previous mistakes.
But then you'd have to acknowledge the fact you made one.
I mean, Halo did that for years. Granted, that was because there was a change in management, but I don't know. Overall, I feel like it was a satisfactory short. Not amazing, but at least for me, I was like, okay, this is acceptable. It wasn't bad.
It was decent. I enjoyed it.
I'd give it a solid, 6 out of 10. So
it was better than nothing.
Better than nothing. Yeah, it's definitely not like an animated short or anything like that.
No.
And it's definitely not like the age-old comparison. It's definitely not the Sigma Origin trailer.
But that one was technically less animated, right?
But that's what I mean. Like it's certainly not an animated short, and it's certainly not the Sigma trailer.
Origin story.
Yeah. I feel like it would be fun on either of our channels, Ian, to do a video ranking the origin story trailers. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, I've thought about doing tier things. That might be something I could do on stream as well.
Right.
In terms of just finding new types of streaming content.
I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say about Genesis. I thought it was fine. Anything else? You guys have any more comments on it?
I didn't watch it.
Oh right, you didn't watch it.
I clicked on one of the videos, skimmed through it, saw something just awful, and I was like, nah.
Okay, actually, there is one thing I want to bring up. The fact that Aurora had eyeballs.
Oh, that was kind of creepy. I didn't like that.
We've never seen an Omnic with eyeballs, but
the
apparently
design was kind of weird. Yeah.
Aurora was the one Omnic to have eyeballs.
And it looked really off.
And it didn't look quite as off as Echo, but it was kind of uncanny. Yeah, I don't know. I've always liked that Omnics don't have facial expressions. I've always thought that's been an interesting design choice, because it's something that a skeptic could use to say oh, they don't really have emotions, they don't even have facial expressions,
right.
But
it's also mentioned in game that them not having facial expressions actually gives them unique perks. It makes them really good teachers because they can't show disappointment visually.
Right.
There's a line that Zenyatta
says, and there's also a line that Maximilian says about it making them, for one of the reasons it makes them too good at things like poker.
Yes. But also the fact that they can just calculate the mathematical probabilities of everything.
That as well. So, yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else? Do we really have anything else to talk about? I guess we could sit here and speculate about the next hero, but
I mean, we know about
John Cena.
No, not John Cena. We know about as much about the Sun Girl as we could.
Peruvian Sun Lady.
Related.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder. I mean, they have a big fuck off gun.
They do. That's like a sword, but it's a support, so yeah, it's not going to be that good.
What do you mean? Lucio Overwatch exists. There's nothing cooler than him.
I mean, I'm talking about the gun being, like, strong.
Doesn't have to be.
But it's a big
It
fucking
could just
gun.
look cool.
A giant fucking gun should be strong.
Okay, but like, what are some other examples of big guns being like piss in this game? Zarya's gun.
I guess
The
so.
biggest gun, and it fucking tickles people these days.
I suppose that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. It also becomes. It looks like it becomes a sword, which is interesting. Which gives us the idea that this might be a melee-oriented support.
Could be like an ultimate where she like sun sword slashes through the enemies to apply a debuff or something.
Maybe. I don't know. Either way, you know, at least for me, I kind of tend to assume that supports won't be my thing. Because...
Well, that's just because support in general, like as a play style, does not very much appeal to you.
It doesn't, no.
You're like, ugh, I have to like look at my teammates.
No, that's not why. It's not because I have to look at my teammates. It's because, like, I don't find it particularly fun having to worry about, like, staying relatively back in the back and, like, helping people. If I'm
Have
not...
you seen me play Lucio?
I'm aware, but at least for me, the most fun play style is to get up in there. So...
That's still how you play support the best.
I mean,
You just have to know how to play support first.
I guess that's true. When I play Moira, I'm not exactly staying in the back, but that's why I play Moira.
Well, that's also why your Moira gets the most success out of all of your supports.
Yeah, that's fair. I find Moira... Like, Moira is, like, the one support that I find, like, actually pretty fun. Because goofy shit happens. A lot. It's, I don't know. The orbs just bring me a certain, like, inexplicable joy.
It gives you the same joy as a random crit in TF2.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate.
You're like away from a fight, you're like, alright, damage orb time. And then suddenly you get 2 kills.
Or you
no
just, like,
reason.
nuke the enemy Genji. It's hilarious when it's, like, a Genji or something.
Like, it'll just bounce off the walls perfectly to dodge his deflect, go behind him, and suck him dry.
It's really funny. I also do like how you can use the damage beam as, like, a way to actually sort of scare tanks. Like...
At least you used to. Now it does 40 damage a second.
They changed it back to 50, I thought.
Did they?
I think so.
I don't think they did.
Because that's what the wiki says. And it's been like that for, like, months, so I assume they're correct. If they haven't updated it in a while, that would surprise me.
Let me check.
Last I checked, it was 50. It said, at least. 50 is definitely funnier.
50. Right. It's at 50.
50 is funnier, so...
It still feels like it does no damage, though.
Well, Moira doesn't do much damage. Like, that's just a fact. But people get pissed
still
about
complain about it being too high.
She does, like, barely any damage. It's just that the way that she does damage is kind of really funny.
She does it consistently.
Yeah. It's, the orbs are just endlessly hilarious to me. But, yeah, I don't know.
Nothing funnier than reading the Genji main post on the Overwatch forums. It's like, Moira is the most broken character ever. And then you look at everything surrounding Moira, it's like the minus 80% win rate.
Oh, yeah. No, she's just...
The absolute, like, oh, but her stats are broken. She has the highest stats out of, like, any character. And I'm
That
like,
means
yeah,
nothing.
but have you heard of, like, Speed Boost? That
Yeah.
thing wins fights on its own.
Moira tends to prolong fights, not win them.
Exactly that.
Which is a quality of its own, but it's
She delays the inevitable.
not necessarily. If you delay things, it can be enough to win, but it
Yeah, but, like, if you're...
attrition
the type
is a
of
strategy.
If you're the type of composition to win through attrition, you're probably playing Poke. At which point, why play Moira?
It's funny.
But, like, that doesn't work in Poke.
The orbs are funny. That's a form of poke. The orbs are on a short cooldown.
Have you heard of, like,
pressing A or D at any point on like their path towards you. You have just counterplayed an 8-second cooldown.
Oh yeah, sure, but I mean it's something.
I guess.
And at least I always find a way to get people with it. Just slightly bullshit an angle. It's something that I've learned playing Sigma with the
I just
hyperspheres.
climb on top of their heads.
Or that. Just like having played so much Sigma, I'm good at angles, and so it's I usually find some way to bullshit an orb in there. Just like get it like behind them or something like that, which is always very funny. But
I think we've run out of topics.
We've really run out of topics. We're only like an hour and 10 minutes in, but like
that should tell you that there's really not that much to talk about until next season.
There's just not much to talk about. But next season will be interesting. I'm looking forward to the animated short with Sojourn and the PvE and the invasion game type. If they bring back any level of funny for the balance, I'll be excited, but I have no faith in that anymore. I'm convinced that they are dedicated to making the balance as bone dry as possible. Yeah.
With absolute hits like ball now reloads 0.4 seconds faster outside of ball form.
Just like crazy, super fun, game-changing shit. Just like...
Now he could shoot at Widow while outside of ball form.
Guys.
A little longer.
Guys, I know how to make the game more fun. More CC.
That too.
I can't say they've learned nothing because it's not the same people, but they've learned nothing.
It seems so.
It's like
doomed to repeat the same mistake over and over again.
They just the longer this game goes on, the more I realize that losing the original devs will truly be the death of this game.
Losing the original game will truly be the death of this game.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm dreading the Hog rework because I know it just won't be Hog. So
yeah, it's gonna be heinous. I just know it.
I'm also dreading the Sombra rework because I know it's gonna be heinous. But
it'll either be a war crime to every other player in the match or a war crime to Sombra players specifically.
I mean, the reworks are usually war crimes to like the people who play the character.
And then they rework Sim. It's like a war crime for everyone.
I mean, like I feel like the only example of I'd say two examples. I've said this before. The only two examples of reworks that they've done, like true reworks that haven't been like a crime against the heroes community, is basically Orisa and Torb.
And Lucio.
That's not a full rework. I'm talking like a full rework.
No. Like gameplay-wise, that was a full rework. You have no idea how much impact that had on like the greater scope of Lucio.
But like, I feel like maybe those three are the only real examples of like a rework actually working. And
maybe the Bastion rework, but
no.
Doom rework definitely not.
The Doom rework was a catastrophe that I will never forgive Blizzard for.
That was a bag so fumbled. You're questioning if that is even a bag.
It's not even a bag anymore. It's just like it was never a bag.
It's a garbage bag.
It was never even a bag. They fumbled like just like a random pile of trash.
They fumbled a purse.
There was no cooking going on with that rework. Reworks at this point just make me very nervous because I know it will be shit. That's all I can say. I know it'll be shit, so I dread them. At this point, it might be better to let characters that are kind of iffy just stay iffy than just rework them and make them Horde.
Just make a new character.
Like, I don't know. I still feel like that's what should have been done with Orisa. Like, I know this is unpopular, but like, I do kind of agree with the Orisa community that they should have kept Orisa as Orisa and just made a different character. So, yeah. As much as I like the Orisa rework, and I know it's a popular one overall.
I think it's also a case of they didn't want the original Orisa in the game anymore.
I mean, but they could have done something. They could have done something to keep it Orisa. It's really not Orisa at this point. That's
but
not
you already know they inevitably would have gotten rid of the shield and halt. Like, what else do you have?
I think they could have kept the shield in some capacity. If it was less powerful, if it was less the focus of her kit. And halt they could have changed to be perhaps something that only activates if it hits something instead of being, like, remote. Like you
I think how they currently handled halt is really good, actually.
What do you think they did? How would you describe it?
It's her ultimate.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the ultimate is good, but I don't know.
The current ultimate effectively is just halt with a follow-up in the ult.
Yeah, no, I agree that I think the ult is fine. I disagree with changing the character that much.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the current ultimate is basically just halt.
No, I understand.
Like, what would come from halt becoming the ultimate?
I understand. I just think that on a fundamental level, I think they changed it too much. Yeah, I'm not... That's coming from me, who prefers the reworked version. Part of me just wants to ignore the fact that they're reworking these characters. I pretend I do not see it, sort of attitude.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Quite honestly, if they bring back the rock combo for Sigma, that'll be enough for me. I'll just play Sigma and leave it at that.
Can't believe how they just sneakily got rid of that one.
They did it in the worst way possible. They just said, "Oh, you guys like stuns more than damage, right?"
It's like, no.
No
one likes being stunned.
No one likes that. What sort of, like...
And not a single soul I heard complained about randomly getting killed by Sigma because they weren't healed for, like, 5 health.
Yeah, and, like, it was inconsistent at best. So,
you only had to be healed for 5 health, and then the combo wouldn't work.
It did 210 damage.
Never mind. Okay, 10 health. But even then, you could nerf it to be, like, 200 exactly, like some point in Overwatch 1.
Right, it was 200 exactly at one point, yeah. They could have... I feel like if they had just decreased the rock damage, that would have been fine. Just 100 to 90, whatever. I wouldn't have complained. Because at that point, any health would have done it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. My attitude is as long as Sigma doesn't get his combo back, I'm not really playing the game. Isn't that crazy when something that specific is the last thing that keeps you attached to a game?
I mean, that is very specific. Again, the only thing that kept me in the game is Lucio's survivability, which is also just gone.
Right. I don't know, Ian. You're privileged. Ball gets all the funny shit now.
Yeah, but he's trash, so...
Okay, but at least he's still funny.
Yeah.
He's fun to play still.
But wait, why is he trash?
He's just not effective as a tank.
What happened?
He's like...
He just gets hard countered by way too many things.
But didn't they...
It's also that he doesn't... Like, compared to the other tanks, yes, his core gameplay loop will be uninterrupted for, like, hours.
Yeah.
If you're not countered, and you will still not achieve as much as, like, Ramatra feeding.
But wasn't he really good for a while?
Like, he was alright.
Because I remember there was a period where he was basically meta.
Well, that's because they hadn't figured out how to play other tanks.
Yeah, they buffed him, and then people just sort of realized, wait a minute, you can still just hack him as Sombra, or make an Ice Wall as Mei, and shut him down. Oh, we'll just do that, and then he's trashed here again.
And with the current Mei buff, he's even more useless than ever.
Dude, the fact that they went back on making Mei, like, less CC focused is just like...
I like how every single player I've heard about that exactly has been like, I liked it better while it just did more damage.
Yeah.
And then Blizzard was like, okay guys, we'll give it a little bit of damage back, but still make it CC harder. No one liked that. You don't have to make it good, you have to make it fun. This isn't fun for anyone. People didn't care that the Mei before this change wasn't good.
Yeah.
Because apparently that was the thing Blizzard was concerned with. Her win rates were terrible.
But they're too concerned with fucking win rates.
Your character doesn't have to win. People had fun with it. No one complained about it.
They're way too fucking concerned with win rates.
Yeah.
Basically every statistic besides the win rate is the important one. Like,
unless your character is winning like only 30% of matches, which, hello, Lifeweaver here. I don't see a reason to like care that much about
pick
win
rate
rates.
is much more important than win rate. Let's be honest.
Well, even that is like not that much of a significant thing because some characters are just niche in like the players that like playing it.
I suppose so, but after playing Bastion for so many years, I can tell you.
Just tell me how few people like Bastion, Symmetra, and Torb exactly.
But I'm just saying, after years of playing Bastion for so long, I can tell you that it's harmful to have a character that niche. But yeah, they were.
But let's imagine a world where the niche character also happens to be good, right?
Right.
Like current Symmetra.
Yep.
Her win rate is crazy. Her pick rate is still piss. No one wants to play her despite her being good.
That's fine.
Except the people that like playing Sid.
But I mean, that's fine. That's a good, healthy state.
Yes, but they didn't realize that because they thought the win rates were crazy.
Yeah, no, it's dumb. There's no awareness, but that's always been the case.
They focus on silly numbers too much, and not about actual feedback.
Right. Granted, I think feedback can also be dumb, because people have squirrel brain.
Yeah, but at least Squirrel Brain has like a reaction to the game.
I mean, but I like, for example, Doomfist, like this fucking squirrel brain that went on with Doomfist.
People had a genuine criticism with Doomfist, is that they felt like they had no counterplay to him.
That was so fucking loose, though. Like, it was... People, like, just never fucking figured out... Like, the squirrel brain got to the point where they were more concerned with complaining than actually figuring out what the fuck to do. It was very frustrating.
A specific subset of players complained about Doomfist, the platinum support player.
But it was the same with Roadhog, too. Like, they just, like... They were so concerned with it complaining that they didn't, like, try to figure out, like, what the fuck you were supposed to do. It pisses me off time and time again.
And then they do the opposite for characters that are even remotely popular.
Right.
Like, you can... Here it comes. You can trace back so many people being like, hey, guys, I think Widow might be a problem, and nothing's been done about it ever.
Right. Yeah, Widowmaker is...
Because the character has a really high pick rate because she's popular.
Yeah, she's fun. People like her either way.
Like, she could be completely dog shit, and people would still pick her because, like, funny butt character.
Essentially, yes. Yeah, but I'm so fucking sick of Overwatch's balance, I just don't care anymore. I don't play enough to care anymore. Well, I shouldn't say I don't care anymore, but, like, I tune it out.
But you know what is a game with good balance?
What?
Deep Rock Galactic.
Deep Rock Galactic is a very good game.
It's amazing. I implore anyone who watches this video to check it out.
I'm going to have Deep Rock Galactic footage in the background of this. Like, absolutely I am. I don't have any Overwatch footage. I'm gonna, like, go record Genji footage and then fuck off. That's it. Because Maxim is a sadist.
Oh, he was like, can't wait to watch Genji gameplay in the next video.
And
now we have to record Genji gameplay.
Yeah.
Hi, Maxim.
Hi, Maxim. Yeah. So, I think that's all we have, right? Do we have anything else?
Not really. I think this is a good place to end it.
No?
Yeah.
It's a good place to end it. I agree. It is a good place to end it. So anyways, yeah, thank you everyone for coming back to listen.
We forgot to mention the game was going on Steam.
That's such like a I don't give a shit sort of topic, though.
I give a shit.
I genuinely don't give a shit, but...
Alright, well, to the one user on the forum whose BattleNet has not been working for years, you're in luck, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's all we got. Thanks for listening, everyone. I say I'm going to promise we get more stuff out, but shit always happens, so I'm not going to make promises, but I'm going to tell you that we're certainly going to try, because I've learned my lesson on that one. But, yeah, thanks, everyone. Ness, give us our closing statement.
I don't be like Twitter.
That's honestly very good advice. But yeah, see you everyone. Bye bye.
Yep.
Bye.